It was a great video. It brings back so many memories for me. But Dee Snider's with us this morning. I got to ask you first off, do you ever get sick of it?
Never gets old.
Yeah.
Never gets old. No, I mean, if you're blessed enough to have something that has that kind of staying power and that people enjoy, you know, few have, you know, as my manager says, if you're only going to have 2 hits, make them doozies. So those 2 songs, We're Not Gonna Take It, I Want to Rock, internationally, everybody knows and still know.
But there was a period where everything just kind of fell apart. Like it went whop, and then grunge rock came in and it went down.
Yeah,
right?
grunge rock was like the cure for hair metal.
Yeah.
It was just, one day I woke up, I said, what do you mean we're not doing that anymore? You know, and I dedicated my life to one form of music, one style of performing, and no one cared. So I actually lost everything, all the millions I made. I lost everything. Woke up one day with 3 kids, married, and broke, and had to start all over. But I'm doing great now.
Oh, you're doing amazing. You're,
Yeah.
you're the master of reinvention. How many years has it been for the radio show?
I've been over 20 years in radio now, so doing, you know, the House of Hairs, you know, in all of North America, 220 stations. I've done mornings, I've done nights, I've done satellite. I've got a podcast now called Snider Comments. So radio's been very, very good to me, as
You've done movies as well. I hear
Yeah,
Strangeland 2's
movies. I've been
coming
on
out.
Broadway. I've been in theater. You know, I act, TV, a lot of reality TV.
Yeah, Donald Trump, what's he like?
Yeah, Donald Trump. I don't want to burst his bubble, but he's like really a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like when the camera's off, he's self-deprecating. He makes fun of himself. Is my bald spot showing? Do I look too orange? He'll say, and then they'll go 3, 2, 1. He goes, D, why shouldn't I fire you? Like, dude, you were so cool 2 seconds ago.
So here you are today, and the reason
Yeah.
why you're in Toronto today is because of something that's not new. It was last year was the first season for your Christmas show that you have coming up.
Yeah, I wrote a musical called The Rock and Roll Christmas Tale, Dee Snider's Rock and Roll Christmas Tale. Oh, here's my business card. It's metal.
Oh.
And yeah, it's metal, yes.
I'm going to show this right now.
Yeah.
I'll put it
The
right
Rock
here.
and Roll Christmas card, Tale. And, you know, I'm, as a family guy, I every year I take my kids to, now I have grandkids, to see a show, and it always seems somebody was left out of the mix. Somebody was bored to tears. Whether the parents will love it, the kids hate it, kids love it, parents hated it. Wanted to create a show that everybody could enjoy, family friendly, and the Rock and Roll Christmas Tale, with the commonality of rock and roll we've all been raised on at this point, families seem to love, and it's going really well.
And you're here for closed auditions right now. You're kind of preparing for it. It's going to be opening in Toronto in November.
Yeah, we did some great auditions, all cast and Canadians, all locals, some great talent up here, as you well know. And the shows start on November 17th.
So you've done rock and roll, you've done TV, you've done radio, you've been a writer, you've done all these things. You've done movies.
Yes.
So what do you say to somebody right now wanting to reinventing themselves? Somebody that feels that they're kind of low right now, that their life is kind of over and they have to do a new challenge.
Listen to my podcast, Snider Comments. This week I talk about positive mental attitude. No, but really it's a matter of just not selling yourself short. You know, and believing in yourself enough to know, say, hey, I'm not a one-note horn. You know, people wanted to write me off in the 80s and say, okay, yeah, you did that, makeup guy, crazy hair, we're done with you. And I'm like, I'm not dead yet, you know. And I started doing voiceover work, and I started doing radio, and I started writing screenplays, and I started trying acting. And it wasn't easy. I had to learn these crafts, but you have to have some belief and faith in yourself, and pick yourself up and keep trying.
Yeah, 34 years married too. I guess you need a supportive wife.
Well, you know, that was great, because I met a girl, Suzette, who's the costume designer on the show, and she did all the Twisted costumes as well. And she wanted nothing to do with me, didn't own a stereo, didn't like music, and I said, this is my dream girl right here. And I go, you know, the old Groucho Marx line, I don't want to be in a club that'll have me as a member. I didn't want to date a girl who wanted to go out with me. If you want to go out with me, what's wrong with you? You know, so, and she's just been with me through thick and thin, and there's been quite a few reality shows. I don't know if you ever saw Celebrity Wife Swap, but she took Flavor Flav to school. She's a tough Brooklyn chick.
So what's next? What are you going to do? What do you want to do on your bucket list? Do you have a bucket list?
I do have a bucket list. It's short. Because I only have a little bit of a bucket to go. No, I mean, this is really, the Rock and Roll Christmas Tale is a passion project for me. I mean, for a head, you know, people want to write me off as a headbanger, but to write a musical and see it brought to life on stage in Chicago last year, this year in Toronto, is a dream come true. It's got, and just so you know, it's got Twisted songs in there, it's got rocked out Christmas songs in there, so there's a lot of familiar material, there's new material in there. And like I said, it's family friendly. It's not a children's show, but it's family friendly. I always say 7 to 70, blind, deaf, or crazy. You're going to love it. And this is really my focus right now.
Yeah, and your focus opens, of course, November 17th. It's called Dee Snider's Rock and Roll Christmas Tale. For more information, you go to rockandrollxmas.com.
rockandrollxmas.com. And if you go now, there's a secret code, DRUM. You can get advance tickets right now. DRUM, don't tell anybody.
He's always working. Always working. Always working. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, man.
Take a break.
And you look good with the makeup on. You just were missing the mole.
I know.
The mole.
I know.
Always on the opposite side of the cigarette. That's where the mole goes.
Faithful friends who are dear to us, or travel near to us, or once